So hello and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to another Assetto Corsa Competizione video. So it's here, patch 1.6.5 on console, and this was me enjoying a little battle just last night. Didn't manage to save the highlights. It said insufficient disk space. I think I got 3 highlights saved. And this was, to be honest, it was a 45-minute race, so maybe the insufficient disk space was something to do with the length of the video it was trying to save, but in all honesty, I think there's still issues with the saving highlights in multiplayer races, or even in AI races. But yeah, I just thought I would cover in this video a few things that I felt have changed. I mean, obviously you can see the different details that we could see here during the race itself. Really good race with SPS Stale at the top. I've had some really good races with that guy, but unfortunately I didn't fill the car with enough fuel to finish the race, so just as I managed to get into first place, I ended up having to stop and pit and get some fuel. But I do like that, to be able to see where the race ended. You can reverse, or you can toggle up the actual HUD from the in-game details. So there's a few little extra things within the replay section, which I found quite good as well. I do like at the start of the race now, usually when you're sat on the starting grid, I guess, there is a countdown now from 30 seconds. It'll say 30 seconds to go, 20 seconds to go, then 10 seconds to go, which is a great reminder, because sometimes I've ended up messing around with the setup, you lose track of time, and before you know it, you're ending up starting in the pit lane. So that's a nice addition to the game itself. I do also like that we can actually now see lap details. So if you do a 20 lap race, you can then, after the race, you can actually click on your driver details and you can see every lap that you've done. So finally something worth coming to console as well. And that does make me wonder whether the UDP, I think it's UDP support for our little tablets that we've all got sat here. Even though we are on console, we've got keyboards, we've got tablets, there are other peripherals that we can use to help support us. Hopefully at some point we're going to get that keyboard support back to be able to reposition the seating position. Some of them really are terrible when you sat so close to a monitor like this. There's just an absolute huge dash, especially in the new Ferrari, which I've been driving recently. The dash is just absolutely massive on the screen in front of you, and you feel like a little child sat on a booster seat, or I need a booster seat to actually see over the dashboard. But one thing that I did end up looking at, still unable to adjust your I forget what it's called, but I'm just looking here at the I just end up using the keyboard to do this. Yeah, so last night I ended up having just one race at Imola. Valid laps. It was a 45-minute race, and I'm sure I did more than 4 laps, 100% of that. In 45 minutes, you can imagine how many laps you're going to do at 1 minute 43, for example, 1 minute 44. Alright, I might have done 5 invalid laps, just running wide here and there, but apparently I've done 2 races there and I've only finished once. So whether that records 2 races in as qualifying and a race, I'm not sure. Podium, I ended up finishing 3rd, but the actual fastest lap during the race, I did a 1:43.4. But it still records there at 1:45.5, which is miles away from where the fastest lap I set during the race was. So I'm a little bit unsure about that. There definitely isn't, I'm sure that's the Imola circuit. Where's it gone? Yeah, I'm sure that's the Autodromo Enzo Dino. I'm sure that's Imola. But yeah, that's one thing. Not the stats. Customizing, as you can see there, I changed mine some time ago, but I still can't even actually go up into that menu to edit anything. If I come down and come across and select me and go back up, I still can't change anything on that. So if I wanted to change something, I can't. Yes, I can change it for the teammates, but I can't change it for the guy in the center. I'm not sure why that is. Are you sure? Yes. Coming back to special events, brilliant to see some new special events in the season. And as we come into it, you can see we've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Can I come down any more? No. But if I come back out again, come back into special events, come back out again, back into special events, come down, come back out again. Special events, nope. Maybe refresh the list. And then I come back down, I've got even more, look. So there's something going on there. So we've got 12 there, and then you come down, we've got another one. So I'm not sure what's happening with the special event screen there. You see, you come back into it, so we've got Las Moras at the top, Hungaroring, and that's as far down as we can come. There's just 1, 2, 3 GT4s. So if we just count on the screen there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 GT4s, 5 GT4s, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 GT3s, 7 GT3s. So out of 12, I'm sure that's right. My maths is going crazy. 12 plus 5 is, 7 plus 5, sorry, is 12. So we've got 7 GT3s and 5 GT4s. But if we go back up to the top and click refresh, we get a few extra ones, you see. So yeah, that's just one thing, just to have a look at that if you're wanting to enter some of these. And the first one I looked at was this one here at Laguna Seca, because previously the setup that I'd done in the last video for the Hurricane was quite a sporadic one really, but to come on and find that it was one of the special events, I thought I'd have a go at that. So I spent about 2 hours on that. I think I set out 11:14, but it's nowhere to be seen in the leaderboards. So I'm sort of unsure really as to whether to spend any time doing any of these if they're not actually going to record the lap times. So I'm not sure if there's still an issue with those. Obviously I do enjoy doing these special events, but it would be nice to have seen the lap time recorded. Definitely have a look at these over the next couple of months, and I think it would be nice to actually have these for about 3 months, to be honest. There's loads to go out there, and people do get faster and faster at these, so the competition does get a little bit stiffer, but you can't see overall how many people have had a go at this one. I'm sure in the last one you could actually see somewhere how you were doing in these events. It's maybe, oh yeah, there it was, leaderboard events. That was from the previous season 1, but you can't look at the current season leaderboard events. So you can see like for 33, obviously I ranked second out of 2,275. The one at Silverstone, which was 30, I ranked 11th out of 6,000. Obviously you can see more and more people are interested in having a go at the one lap ones as opposed to the long half an hour stints. But it would be nice to have Season 2 details up there to see how many people are actually taking part in the events themselves. I'm still not attempted any of the competition servers yet. I'm not sure if those are actually reading the details. Other things to look at is the multiplayer. I do think the screen looks a tiny bit better as well, and the server list is a little bit more detailed, I think, now. Seeing GT3 specific lobbies as opposed to just mixed. But yeah, that was the other thing. The controls menu. It's nice to see this addition down the bottom, the brake dead zone and the throttle dead zone. I know there've been a number of people with Logitech and Fanatec wheels that were struggling with brake dead zones, and they weren't able to get full throttle. So that's now been implemented. But it would be just nice to see the field of view support somewhere along here, and to actually be able to assign keys. I mean, I don't know if I click on there I can actually assign it. I can't assign it to any of the keyboard keys, so it really would be nice to see that implemented into the game, get that keyboard support back, and just allow us to be able to position ourselves in the car better. So many people hate the field of view that you get given on some of these cars. I'll just start one, for example, just on the setup I'm doing there. You can see I'm still able to hit a 202.5 at Panorama Bathurst, but it does feel very different. There's a lot more emphasis on the front of the car. Understeering, I have increased my force feedback slightly. I did used to notice that it was bouncing on the clipping delta on the screen down the bottom right hand corner for a while, but that doesn't seem to be so in this new version. But it feels very different when you are at the edge of grip. It's almost an instant loss of grip, as opposed to a more linear feel of losing grip. It's just suddenly gone altogether. I might just do a quick setup for something while I'm here doing this little video. Maybe even have a look at the new Mercedes 2020. I've not driven the old Mercedes, to be honest. A car I've never really driven. If I just refer back to the steering locks, the Mercedes 640, so I think my wheel's still actually at 640. I know 480. Obviously, been driving the Ferrari. So yeah, let's have a little look in the Mercedes. See how that fares around Bathurst. Does look very nice, the Mercedes. Certainly wouldn't turn one of those down parked on your driveway, would you? So yeah, I think the graphics do look a little bit more polished. Visually it's a little bit more stunning, I think. I think there's more clarity in the display. It's just a pity about not being able to position yourself in the car. I'm not sure if there's been some extra keys actually added to the bindings as well. I was trying to go through them in the hope that there might be something within there to change the driver positioning, but there still isn't. So just set that to 640. And like I said, I've just increased my gain a tiny bit and added the road effects. It does feel a tiny bit better. Let's go to this setup. I'll just choose the aggressive setup. I've never been on this in this car at all. So as we do, just change the brake balance or the brake calipers themselves. Just have a little look over. I'm still intrigued as to why the bump is set the way it is. There's numerous ones where the fast bumps there is lower than the rebound, and then the bumps higher than the rebound, and there just seems to be no consistency. I know on console we don't have Motec to be able to get any information from the car itself, but it just feels the wrong way around. You read all these books on how cars are set up and how the rebound and the bump work. With a bump, the rebound is usually twice as much as the bump and a third more, or something like that. So if, for example, at the rear you're running 7 rebound, and obviously these two are connected, you would run something like 7 bump. So to run 10 bump and 7 rebound, it's almost like as a car or the suspension pushes up into the wheel arch, there isn't enough rebound for it to push it back. The bump is actually stiffer, so it just ends up like the car sort of jacks down on the suspension because it hasn't got enough rebound to push it back to where it should be. So I don't know if it just feels wrong. So I've got no experience at all in setting the Mercedes up. I've never seen any cars with so much front splitter available. And the ride height and the rake of the car is just dramatic. So I'd be really interested to see how this car drives, to be honest. Not the worst seating position I've ever sat in. Ooh, sounds nice, doesn't it? Let's see how this feels. Just another invite there from another guy to join a lobby, I guess. Oh, I was looking at the oh god, that feels horrible. The tyre delta, you can see there at 27.1 psi, we've still got all the tread on the tyres, and 27.5, 27.6, just slightly over at the bottom. So I think 27.1 is when the tyre actually comes to its perfect level of inflation, and then as soon as you hit 27.6 it's slightly overinflated. Definitely needs a bit of work setting this car up here. Ooh, just didn't feel like I had any grip at all there. Just didn't feel like it wanted to turn. Yeah, let's just do a little bit more driving there. I'd be very quick to adjust anything there. So a big kick of oversteer as you put your foot down on the throttle pedal. And just bring up the MFD. Like I say, you can cycle through these. Just using the keyboard. Oh, no front grip, no rear grip.
The lap time is invalidated. Please try to stay on the track.
So yeah, we've got issues already. So what can we learn about turn 1? Temperature, pressure wise, I think we're already getting a little bit too high straight away. But yeah, on the accelerator, let's have a look. So we've got a really low preload, so there's no reason that we're spinning out, so it's got to be down to the traction control. So I'm just gonna add that in there. The brake balance is definitely getting the car to rotate a little bit too much, and the steering just feels so sensitive. At the front of the car, we've got we've got this massive difference. Usually you try and get this as close as you can. I like to start on 1, to be honest, adjusting the bump stop range. So we'll just go with those 2 little changes for now, just to see if we can actually get through turn 3. Doesn't feel the most responsive of cars on the turn-in. Not as planted through there as I'd like. Feel like I'm losing a lot of front grip. Oh, and just so much instability coming over the top there. So definitely going to need to increase some of that rear wing. Just lower the car a tiny bit. I don't think these need to be so open, or so open. Just have a look at those tyre pressures again, just creeping too high very instantly on that side of the car, and then this one not particularly doing anything. But yeah, maybe I'll just go back in there. Just felt like there was very little grip at the front of the car turning through some of these corners initially. Yeah, let's just leave it at that. A little bit more grip at the front. Not going to do a massive setup, but just something that feels a little bit more handleable in this new car. Doesn't feel too bad though, the Mercedes. Maybe I should be changing gear a little bit earlier. Still feels like I need a little bit more from the front of the car. Just turn in and there's nothing. See the temperatures getting way up on that front right corner. So maybe just holding the gear too much, I think. Just do one more lap, make a few other changes. See, that tyre's just dropped right the way down now. So yeah, just a little bit too much at the front, or not enough at the front. There's just not enough grip at the front turning in. So I'm just going to give myself a little bit more cornering grip. Doesn't seem to be struggling too much at the rear of the car. Maybe just lower that steering response. And then let's just equalize these. And I'll just equalize these ones as well. I don't see why they'd be down like that. So we've got 2.1% acting on the front wing. So I feel like I need more than that. Let's try something like that, 1.5. Just want a little bit more confidence that the car's going to turn when I turn the wheel, but I don't want to do it too much that the rear end starts to get unstable. Just try and change gear a little bit earlier. Oh, I just picked up that curb. Still felt very light in the wheel, just turning in there. Maybe I want it to look a bit lower. Better, much better. I changed too early. Not the best. Just no confidence there. Yeah, that front right tyre doesn't half get up on the pressures. Yeah, it's suddenly dropped again. I just wonder if it's halfway through the lap, it's just scrubbing a bit. It's quite a versatile second gear. No need to come down to first gear. It's sort of like a shorter fifth gear as well. Catches me out every time. Doesn't feel too bad, just still a little bit more grip I'd like from the front. Ooh. Oh yeah. Just something from the front of the car just doesn't feel like it's giving me enough rotation. Definitely rotating at slower speeds. Just increase that rear a tiny bit. Just soften out that one. And then a tiny bit more rotation. And I think overall the grip levels doesn't make a massive difference, that does it? Maybe just lower. Oh, that makes a huge difference, lowering that. Let's give that one a whirl. Just looking for a little bit more grip at that front end. That right tyre just seemed to settle itself down after a bit. I think I'll look at about 7,500 or just after 7. Oh. Might be worth just lowering that a tiny bit, that tyre. Front right. Oh no, just couldn't hang on to that. I don't think lowering, increasing, whether it's worth it. Maybe just lower that, or maybe it was a grip issue. Let's just, I know what, just drop that again, it's just getting a bit too high. Just run a tiny bit more camber. There we are. See if that gives us a little bit more corner and grip. It is nice being able to carry second gear through there. Certainly feels better than when we started out with this car. Certainly like to see a 202. If we hit a 202, I'll just stop the video there. Just a nice quick setup. Got loads of time gained down there. So there we go, I think at 202.8 it's not too bad for just a little quick setup. Just something for the channel. And it's, I think that's just crashed. Can you believe it? Well, that looks like we're going to end the video there then, guys. Obviously if you went through that setup and you saw all the adjustments that I made, you'd be able to download that setup. So yeah, that's just the state of the game. Just a random crash just like that. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe to the channel. Hopefully more content as the year progresses. But yeah, thanks for watching, and ciao for now.